Archangel Michael says, someone is warning you about a person whose name begins with the letter M. Do not skip this. Open this message quickly before it is too late. This message is not random, and it is not for everyone. There is a person, a presence, a name beginning with the letter M, and they are not who they appear to be. God is lifting the veil before damage is done. You are being given divine clarity. You are not being paranoid. You are being protected. If you're receiving this in the middle of chaos, I want you to pause and comment, Amen, right now. That single word is your agreement with heaven that you choose light over darkness, truth over deception, God's will over manipulation. It is your declaration that you are listening. That you are ready to be saved from what you cannot yet see. If this already speaks to you and your heart feels a shift, please like this video now to hold your place in the light, so this reaches others who also need to hear this message in time. We don't have long. This is serious. This is not just another sign. You are being spoken to directly by heaven's authority. Archangel Michael has stepped into your situation because something has reached a spiritual breaking point. You have prayed for answers. You have asked God to show you the truth. And now heaven is responding with this word. There is someone, close or approaching, whose intentions are not sent by God. Their name, their energy, their choices carry an assignment to confuse, manipulate, and delay the calling on your life. But heaven will not let it happen. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword. Michael does not speak unless the danger is real. His words come when there is no more time to delay. You may have already started to feel the stirring in your spirit, the unrest, the second-guessing, the dreams, the unease that something was off. That was God already trying to prepare you. This person with the name starting with M may have appeared as a blessing, a helper, a friend, even a love. But underneath, there is a spiritual distortion pulling you away from the will of God. This warning is your way back. This is not to fill you with fear, but to fill you with clarity. You are not alone. You are not unprotected. You are not blind. God sees all things, and what you cannot discern yet, the Lord is now exposing. What the enemy sent to blend in will now stand out. What the enemy sent to appear soft will be seen for what it is. Michael does not come gently. He comes with fire. And if he is here, it means the threat was real, but your deliverance is greater. Heaven is not accusing a letter. The name with M is not cursed. But someone with that beginning, tied to your story right now, is not walking in God's light. It could be manipulation. It could be malice. It could be misplaced trust. Whatever it is, Archangel Michael is warning you that your spirit is worth too much to be wasted on anyone sent by the enemy to delay your breakthrough. You are in a spiritual turning point, and God is making sure you do not miss what He has for you. This is your sign to start listening to the uneasy feeling you've been ignoring. That tightness in your chest. That discomfort around certain people. That confusion that follows every interaction. Those are not coincidences. Those are divine alarms. Archangel Michael does not appear where everything is safe. He appears where the fight is spiritual. And he is standing guard over you now. There is protection you cannot see covering you as you listen to these words. Angels have been assigned. What tried to slip into your life unnoticed is now being exposed. This is not just about the letter M. It's about the timing. It's about who is attached to your future and who is trying to alter your direction. You are being recalibrated. Heaven is redirecting your path back to safety, back to peace, back to God's perfect alignment. You are chosen. You are covered. And even though this revelation might shake your emotions, you must remember that when God reveals, it is because He is ready to heal, protect, and elevate you. Your value is too precious. Your destiny is too great. And your calling is too important for the enemy's distractions to continue. The truth may sting, but the truth will save you. So if you feel your heart beating differently, your thoughts racing, your spirit stirring, that is the presence of God confirming this word. Don't silence it. Let Him speak. Let Him guide. Archangel Michael is clearing the path, but you must walk in the direction God is showing you. Trust that even if you feel alone in this, heaven is walking beside you. There is a wind of change blowing through your life right now. Relationships are being rearranged. Bonds are being exposed. Deception is being removed. And through all of it, you are not losing. You are being protected. You are being delivered. You are being aligned with what is true, holy, and pure. Let go of who and what God is revealing as harmful. Don't hold on to something that God is trying to remove. Could this hidden CIA brain ritual be the real reason people are suddenly rich? A secret CIA discovery has just leaked, revealing a brain hack that's pulling wealth into people's lives effortlessly. It only takes 7 seconds, it's done at home, and it's backed by 4 neuroscience labs. Debt is vanishing, luxury is becoming normal. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky, the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. Before the next day comes, something in your atmosphere will shift. You may receive a sign, a message, a silence, or an act that confirms what your spirit already knows. When that happens, do not run from it. Do not doubt it. Receive it. Let God be your protection. Let Archangel Michael be your defender. There is no greater safety than in the will of God. The reason you found this right now is because Archangel Michael is still speaking, and heaven is still moving. What was revealed before was not the end, but the beginning of a deeper uncovering, a greater protection, and a powerful breakthrough that you are walking into now, even if it doesn't yet feel like it. There are some shifts happening that may not make sense yet. People are acting different. Emotions feel louder. Thoughts feel heavier. But you are not falling apart, you are being refined. God is allowing your eyes to open fully so you can see through the fog that someone brought into your life. This person, this energy, this influence connected to the name starting with M, they have been a part of a plan that was never designed to stay. You may have loved them. You may have trusted them. But the truth is, not every presence in your life is a permanent assignment. There is a reason you've been feeling drained around them. There's a reason your spirit feels heavy after conversations. There's a reason your prayers feel blocked. God is not punishing you. He is protecting you. There has been a shadow standing beside you wearing a smile, but your spirit knew what your eyes could not yet see. And now, the curtain is being pulled back. When Archangel Michael moves, it is never to create fear, it is always to deliver clarity. God does not expose to shame you. He reveals to save you. Every person you lose after this moment, every closed door, every silence, every shift, is actually a blessing. It is a clearing out of what was keeping your soul stuck in cycles you didn't deserve. This is a divine rescue. God is asking you to trust the separation. To believe that what looks like rejection is actually redirection. You have outgrown places and people who were not evolving with you. You have shifted spiritually, and what used to fit can no longer remain without hurting you. That is why you are being given new discernment, new eyes, and a new sense of direction. The name with M may have been tied to friendship, to romance, to guidance, or even to family. But when the spirit behind a name carries confusion, manipulation, and hidden motives, then God must interrupt the connection for your own good. And when Archangel Michael arrives, it is because God does not want you harmed. Not now. Not ever. This is why you're being told to watch what unfolds. Watch the conversations that follow. Watch the behaviors that reveal themselves. Watch the silence that speaks volumes. You do not need to fight or explain. You do not need to plead or beg. God is fighting for you in silence. He is speaking louder than words through circumstances, signs, and spiritual nudges. You are not crazy. You are awakening. This is your invitation to choose alignment over attachment. To choose peace over people-pleasing. To choose your anointing over the approval of those who never saw your true value. You are not meant to walk this next season with someone who was only supposed to be a chapter. Letting go will not destroy you. Holding on will. There is beauty on the other side of obedience. There is peace on the other side of surrender. And there is purpose waiting on the other side of release. You are not walking away alone. You are walking into the arms of a God who saw this coming before you did, and who has already written healing into your next chapter. When heaven warns you, it is because your destiny is too important to leave unguarded. You are carrying something divine inside you. You are holding a promise. You are stepping into favor. And the enemy sent someone into your life to try and derail that. But the warning came in time. God's mercy reached you before the damage could. If your heart is heavy, let it be. But don't let it harden. Feel what you need to feel. Cry if you need to cry. But do not go back to what God is pulling you from. Do not explain yourself to people who were never meant to understand your journey. Let Archangel Michael clear the battlefield while you return your heart to God. This is a spiritual cleansing. It may not come with applause or comfort, but it will come with freedom. You will feel lighter. You will feel clearer. You will sleep more peacefully. You will hear God more clearly. You will feel whole again. There is healing that only comes when the wrong attachments are cut. That is what is happening now. Every time you feel the pull to go back, remind yourself of how far you've come. Remind yourself of the sleepless nights, the tears you cried, the way your spirit ached when they spoke, the lies that left you broken. God saw all of it. He kept the record. And heaven is repaying your tears with restoration. Let this moment be the turning point. The moment you choose God's plan fully. The moment you stop asking for signs and start walking in obedience. The moment you realize that if someone has to be warned about, then they were never meant to walk freely in your life. Archangel Michael is removing the danger. Now it's your turn to release the grip. God will not let you fall. He never has. He never will. And even now, in this difficult separation, in this uncertain space, He is still holding you. Still guiding you. Still planning good things for your future. There is nothing that has been taken that God cannot replace with better. If your heart agrees with what heaven is doing, comment 222 to declare your trust in the process. Why is this 7-second brain ritual suddenly going viral? Leaked CIA files have exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the floodgates to wealth. Verified by 4 top labs, this ritual is turning financial pain into prosperity, fast. From massive bills to luxury trips, it's changing lives. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. What's ahead is so much greater than what is behind. God has never called you to settle. You are His beloved. You are His anointed. You are His chosen one. And nothing sent to distract or destroy you will succeed now. You have been warned because you are worth saving. And you are not walking through this season empty-handed. You are walking through it with the full backing of heaven. There are victories waiting for you on the other side of this decision. Healing is closer than you think. Peace is nearer than you know. And the people who are aligned with your calling are already being drawn toward your path. Keep walking. Stay alert. Stay open. And most of all, stay close to God. When God begins to shift things, it can feel like chaos at first. People start revealing their true colors. Familiar faces begin to feel distant. Even your own thoughts may become louder and harder to silence. But through all of it, there is a thread of divine peace holding you together, and that peace is not coming from the world. It is coming from the throne of God. It is coming from the presence of the Holy One who never stops watching over you. The person or influence tied to the name beginning with M was not just a casual part of your life. They carried a spiritual weight that has been affecting your emotions, your clarity, your direction, and even your relationship with God. That's why heaven stepped in. That's why Archangel Michael raised his sword. This battle was never just about human relationships. It was about your spiritual future. Some of you have already begun to feel the aftermath of obedience. The loneliness that comes after letting go. The silence that follows when you obey God and step away. The temptation to go back, to question the warning, to doubt your own spiritual discernment. But let me remind you with gentleness and strength, obedience always leads to blessing. Delay may lead to regret, but obedience always leads to peace. Even if it doesn't feel like it now, God is removing the counterfeit to make room for the true. He is clearing out the noise so that you can hear Him again. That person who carried distraction, manipulation, or spiritual heaviness was not just a bad influence. They were an open door for confusion. They were keeping you in cycles that you had already prayed to break. And now God, in His mercy, is fulfilling the very prayers you once cried from your knees. You may not have known how to walk away. You may have been bound by fear, guilt, or false loyalty. But heaven does not wait for you to find the strength. Heaven sends strength. And Archangel Michael was that strength. He came not only with warning, but with help. He came to separate you from what was meant to break you, and to anchor you back in truth. Every day that you obey the direction God has given you, you are taking back territory. You are reclaiming your joy. You are rediscovering your identity. You are rebuilding your soul in the light. And with each small step, God is healing what was broken inside of you from that connection. The spiritual wounds are deep, but God's healing is deeper. Even if it felt like love, not every love is sent by God. Even if it felt like support, not every voice cheering you on is for your good. God sees beyond the surface. He hears the silent prayers. He watches what others cannot. And when He moves to protect you, it is because He knows the heart in ways you never will. That is why your trust in Him matters now more than ever. God is not just protecting you from harm. He is preparing you for greatness. There is something ahead of you that requires freedom. You cannot walk into your promise with spiritual chains still attached to your heart. You cannot carry toxic soul ties into a new beginning. God is being gentle with you, but He is also being firm. He loves you too much to let you stay bound. This is the season of release. It is the time to cleanse your space, your heart, your thoughts, and your relationships. It is time to make room for Heaven's plan. You have grieved enough. You have tolerated enough. You have compromised enough. And now, the healing begins. It will not be instant, but it will be real. It will not be loud, but it will be lasting. Let yourself rest in the arms of God now. Let yourself cry if you must. But do not return to what broke you. Do not reattach yourself to what heaven just released you from. When you feel the urge to go back, remember the warning. Remember the heaviness. Remember the way your peace disappeared when they entered your space. God is not cruel. He does not take without restoring. And He never removes unless He has something far better waiting. There are angels surrounding you right now, even if you cannot see them. Archangel Michael is still standing at the door of your spirit, guarding what remains, keeping away what tried to return. Do not ignore the protection. Do not minimize the message. What you are being led through right now is sacred. This is not just a breakup. This is not just a shift. This is a spiritual deliverance. The more you listen to God's instruction, the more your spirit will quiet down. The more you obey, the more peace you will feel. Even in the midst of loss, your soul will begin to breathe again. That is the power of true alignment. That is the power of divine covering. And that is the gift God is giving you in this season. You will feel stronger than you have in years. You will laugh again, not with emptiness, but with joy. You will trust again, not with fear, but with discernment. You will be surrounded again, not with confusion, but with divine connection. But first, you must let the healing settle in. Is it time you unlock the same CIA secret brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak has revealed a powerful 7-second technique, developed under CIA-funded research and backed by neuroscience. It's helping people magnetize wealth like never before. From debt to luxury, faster than anyone believed. But this miracle won't stay public for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. Let go of needing answers from the person. Let go of waiting for an apology. Let go of trying to make sense of it. Sometimes, the closure is simply God saying, "I saved you." And that is enough. If this word speaks deeply into your season, if your heart is nodding in quiet agreement, comment 333 to declare your faith that God is still working. You are not being left behind. You are being lifted. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And in the silence, in the tears, in the shifting ground, God is speaking louder than ever. He is saying, "I am with you. I am for you. And I will never leave you." So stand still. Stand firm. Let the winds blow and let the old things fall. What remains after this storm will be holy, beautiful, and pure. And it will be yours, not because you earned it, but because you trusted the one who carried you through. Heaven never fails to restore what was surrendered in obedience. Archangel Michael is still watching over this process, not as a distant protector but as a mighty warrior of God, clearing the invisible dangers, fighting spiritual battles you cannot see, and ensuring that your destiny remains untouched by the hands that tried to twist it. There are moments when the silence feels unbearable, when the absence of someone you cared for feels like punishment, when you question whether you misunderstood God's warning. But in those moments of aching stillness, God is working in the depths of your spirit, refining you with gentleness and strength. You are not being punished, you are being restored. What was once broken in you by manipulation, betrayal, or misplaced trust is now being healed by divine love, step by step, layer by layer. This is a sacred season. It may not look like victory from the outside, but heaven rejoices when you obey even with trembling hands. The person whose name begins with M might have entered your life with intentions that looked good on the surface. They may have spoken well, promised stability, even shown you affection. But God never looks at outward appearances. He searches hearts. He sees behind the smile. He hears what is spoken in silence. And what he saw was enough for him to step in. When Archangel Michael intervenes, it is because God saw what would have crushed you if it had continued. You have been rescued. Even if your emotions haven't caught up with the truth yet, your spirit knows it. You feel lighter, even in the grief. You feel more awake, even in the sorrow. That's because what was draining you spiritually has been disconnected. The ties are being severed. The confusion is lifting. Your discernment is sharpening. You are returning to yourself, the self God always knew, always loved, always preserved. This is not just about letting go of a person. This is about shedding the old patterns that came with them. The way you started doubting yourself. The way you compromised your peace to maintain their comfort. The way your light dimmed in their presence because you were too afraid to shine fully. All of that ends now. God is not only removing the person, He's removing the pain they brought with them. He is not just asking for distance, He's offering deliverance. You will notice it more each day. The clarity returning. The strength building. The space in your heart beginning to open again, not for someone else right now, but for God. He wants to fill the places that were once filled with uncertainty. He wants to sit where others used to manipulate. He wants to be the voice you turn to when your heart aches. And He will not leave you empty. God is not just a healer of physical wounds. He heals the emotional ones that no one sees. He heals the nights you cried and didn't know why. He heals the way your voice trembled when you tried to speak your truth but were met with silence. He heals the shame you carried for loving someone who could not love you back in the way your spirit deserved. He is healing you now, as you listen, even as these words meet you. This is your time to rise again. Not in haste. Not in panic. But in stillness and strength. You are not who you were when this all began. You are wiser. You are more sensitive to God's voice. You are more in tune with what real peace feels like. And most importantly, you are more aware of your worth. You are not meant to chase people who ignore God's voice. You are meant to walk with those who hear it, who honor it, who protect it in you. God is preparing to align you with people who love purely, speak honestly, and walk in the light. But first, He's making sure your heart is whole. He's making sure your confidence comes from Him, not from validation. He's making sure your joy is rooted in truth, not in temporary attention. That's what this separation has been for. That's what this silence has been producing. That's what this process has been building. There is more coming. More healing. More clarity. More signs. More whispers from heaven. And more peace than you've felt in a long time. But for now, rest in the fact that what needed to be broken off has been broken. What was tying your soul down has been lifted. And what was speaking lies over your life has been silenced. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being left out of God's plan. In fact, you are being brought closer. You are being wrapped in His protection. You are being redefined by His truth. And one day soon, you will look back on this moment and thank Him, not just for what He gave you, but for what He saved you from. The name with M may still echo in your thoughts. The memories may still rise up from time to time. But every time they do, let that be a reminder of how much God loves you. Because He didn't let that chapter go on forever. He stepped in. He stopped it. He saved you. And that kind of love is deeper than any temporary affection this world can offer. If you are still reading and you feel the presence of God touching something deep in your heart, comment 555 to align yourself with this healing. Do you know why everyone's whispering about this 7-second CIA ritual? A brainwave ritual leaked from the CIA is changing lives across the globe. Proven by neuroscience, this 7-second method helps regular people attract money, freedom, and luxury. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. Let yourself walk forward now. Let yourself breathe again. Let yourself believe that God still has beauty ahead. You are not just surviving. You are healing. You are growing. And heaven is walking with you every single step. Archangel Michael is not leaving your side. He is standing at the gate of your next season, keeping watch, keeping guard, and ensuring that nothing unholy enters again. You are being covered, carried, and chosen. Nothing can undo what God has spoken over your life. No name, no person, no mistake, no past. The warning has been given. The separation has begun. And now, the restoration is unfolding. When God removes something from your life, it can feel like an ache you cannot explain. Even when you know the person wasn't meant to stay, even when you know their presence caused you spiritual unrest, there is still a human part of you that grieves the connection. That's okay. God does not rush your emotions. He holds space for your heart while leading your spirit into freedom. His love is patient, and His protection never expires. You did not imagine the heaviness that came with that relationship. You were not wrong for sensing the shift. The name with the letter M wasn't just a coincidence. Heaven doesn't send messages lightly. That connection may have started beautifully, but what began in light can become entangled in shadows when the enemy uses it to pull you off course. What once felt safe may have turned into a source of anxiety. And what once looked like support may have become a quiet form of control. That is why God moved. That is why Archangel Michael intervened. It was never just about what you saw. It was about what God saw when no one else was looking. This season is not a punishment. It is protection. You were not abandoned. You were rescued. And every day that you choose to honor what God has revealed, heaven rejoices. Even when it feels lonely. Even when it feels uncertain. Your obedience is building something stronger in you than you've ever known. A trust that cannot be shaken. A faith that cannot be broken. A peace that does not depend on anyone else's behavior. You are being drawn closer into the heart of God. You are being reintroduced to your own voice. Your thoughts are becoming clearer. The spiritual fog is lifting. This is what healing feels like when it's real. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it just lets you breathe again without fear. You are not where you were. Even if you can't see all the change yet, it is happening inside you. God has a way of restoring us without rushing us. He knows what this cost you emotionally. He knows how hard it was to let go, to trust the warning, to release someone you cared for. But He also knows what's coming. And He refuses to let you enter your next season entangled in something He never wrote into your story. That's why the disruption came. That's why the message reached you. Not to hurt you, but to set you free. It may not have felt like it at the time, but that person was delaying your growth. They were clouding your judgment. They were stalling your connection to God. Not because they were evil, but because their presence carried an assignment to keep you in cycles. And God is a God of movement, not stagnation. He is always leading forward. Always drawing higher. Always calling deeper. You are not the same person who allowed that confusion to stay. You have evolved. You are waking up to the truth that your peace is precious. Your time is holy. Your spirit is not a playground for manipulation. You are learning that discernment is not paranoia, it is protection. And when heaven sends a message, your job is not to question it, but to receive it and walk in the direction it points. You've already begun to see signs. The tension you used to feel around that person is easing now. The spiritual resistance is weakening. The silence feels unfamiliar but strangely safe. That's because heaven has created space around you again. Holy space. Quiet space. Space where God can speak without interference. Space where your heart can mend without manipulation. Let God work. Let Him restore what was bruised. Let Him rebuild your confidence. He's not asking you to be strong every day. He's just asking you to stay with Him. You are not walking through this alone. Archangel Michael has been with you from the moment the warning came, and he is still here, keeping the enemy at a distance, holding the line, so your spirit can recover fully. It's okay to miss the person. Missing them doesn't mean you were wrong. It means you're human. But you cannot return to what God has removed. You cannot reattach what heaven has already severed. Every time you feel the pull to look back, remind yourself that God always sees more than we do. He doesn't explain everything, because He doesn't owe us explanations, He owes us protection, and that's what He gives. Every single time. If your heart is still healing, and you're ready for God to restore you completely, comment 1212 as a sign of surrender to His timing and trust in His plan. Do not worry about the future. God is already there. He is preparing hearts to love you the way you were meant to be loved. He is aligning you with people who speak with light, who walk with integrity, who know how to protect a heart like yours. What you thought you lost is nothing compared to what you're about to walk into. You are not forgotten. You are not passed over. You are being set apart. That's why this moment feels so heavy, it's because the enemy wanted to break you before the blessing arrived. But heaven stepped in first. Archangel Michael delivered the warning, and you listened. And because of that, God is honoring your obedience with restoration. The tears you cried were not in vain. The silence you endured was not for nothing. You will see fruit from this. You will see clarity where there was once confusion. You will feel joy again without the burden of performing for anyone's approval. You will feel whole without needing someone else to complete you. That is the kind of freedom God is building in you. Why is the government hiding this 7-second brain ritual from the public? A leaked CIA document just exposed a brain technique so powerful, it's helping people cancel debt and call in wealth within days. Validated by 4 top neuroscience labs, this method is changing everything. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. This is not the end. This is not even the middle. This is the turning point. And everything that follows will be rooted in truth, covered by grace, and led by divine timing. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the fear. Let go of the name. God is writing a new chapter, and this one begins with peace. The name with the letter M that once held weight in your life, whether through affection, loyalty, or shared history, no longer holds the same authority over your thoughts. That's not a coincidence. That's healing. That's the mercy of God at work. Heaven did not just warn you and walk away. God warned you, stayed close, and is now doing the delicate work of piecing your heart back together. The ache you feel is being softened by His hand. The silence that once felt like abandonment is now the space where God's voice is starting to speak louder. He is removing the echo of the past to make room for the whispers of what's next. The person you were warned about may have had good moments, may have shared laughter with you, may have even helped you through dark times. But spiritual alignment isn't based on memories. It's based on truth. And God saw that behind the charm or the kindness, there was something else, a pulling, a drain, a distraction. That's why He acted. Because He cares more about your soul than your comfort. Now, you may feel moments of doubt. You may wonder if you made the right decision by stepping away. You may hear voices, both internal and external, telling you that you were too quick to let go. But those are not heaven's voices. Those are the voices that try to keep you tied to a past God already freed you from. And you must be bold enough to silence them. You've come too far to go back now. You've fought through too much to slip into old patterns again. What God is doing in you is holy. It is not rushed. It is not loud. But it is sure. There is a slow, steady rebuilding happening, and the pieces of your life are beginning to form something new, something better than what you let go. If you're still carrying guilt, let me speak directly to your heart. You are not wrong for obeying the voice of God. You are not heartless for choosing your peace. You are not disloyal for walking away from a relationship that was slowly suffocating your joy. You are faithful. You are obedient. You are being molded into someone stronger, wiser, and closer to God than ever before. The lies that tried to make you question your discernment are fading. The confusion is lifting. The constant emotional tug-of-war is coming to an end. That's because God is anchoring you now. Not in people. Not in feelings. But in truth. And truth always brings stability. You don't have to chase anything anymore. Not love. Not validation. Not closure. What belongs to you will not have to be fought for through compromise. God doesn't give blessings that require you to shrink yourself. He doesn't call you into relationships that make you feel small, confused, or spiritually dry. What He has for you will come with clarity, peace, and mutual honor. You're not walking away from love. You're walking toward it. Real love. God's love. A love that doesn't manipulate. A love that doesn't change based on mood. A love that doesn't control or criticize. A love that protects, nurtures, and uplifts. That is what God is leading you to. But first, He is leading you through this healing. This time of transition may feel like a wilderness. But even in the wilderness, God provides. Even in the in-between, He speaks. You are not forgotten. You are not in delay. You are not falling behind. You are being prepared. And preparation always comes before promotion. There are things God wants to place in your hands that require both hands free. That's why He removed what was never meant to stay. That's why He had to empty your heart of what was draining it. Because what's coming next is heavy with goodness, with favor, with purpose, and it needs your full attention. There is nothing selfish about choosing healing. There is nothing cruel about choosing peace. You have nothing to apologize for. God did not rescue you so you could turn around and apologize to your captor. He delivered you so you could walk freely into His promise. And that's exactly what you're doing. If you feel lighter today, even just a little, that's not random. That's your soul remembering what peace feels like. That's your spirit responding to the truth. That's God reminding you that the burden wasn't yours to carry in the first place. If this speaks to you right now in the middle of your healing, comment 777 to align your spirit with divine restoration. Every time you choose peace over people-pleasing, heaven rejoices. Every time you choose prayer over panic, you're growing. Every time you rest instead of rushing, you're trusting. This is what real spiritual maturity looks like. Not perfect words. Not perfect feelings. But quiet trust in a perfect God. You are being prepared for divine connection. Relationships rooted in God's Word. Friendships built on truth and loyalty. Opportunities shaped by heaven's favor. But all of that begins with obedience, and you've already taken the first step. Don't let anyone guilt you back into places God already delivered you from. Don't let your emotions rewrite the truth that heaven already confirmed. God gave you a warning because He saw something you didn't. He gave you the strength to walk away because He knows what's ahead. He will never remove without replacing. He will never take without the intention to give better. Even if you feel like you lost something valuable, trust that God knows what real value looks like. He sees what you cannot. He understands what your future needs. He has already placed new doors in front of you. You just have to keep walking in faith. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are right on time. You are healing. You are being refined. You are becoming the version of yourself that can carry the next blessing without fear. Can 7 seconds really change your bank account overnight? A CIA-funded study just leaked, revealing a brain ritual that's flipping lives from broke to blessed. 4 neuroscience labs confirm it activates powerful wealth attraction brainwaves. People are now stepping into dream homes and luxury lifestyles. But this breakthrough won't stay online for long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's deleted forever. You are no longer living under the fog of confusion. That fog was spiritual. It clouded your judgment, dulled your joy, made you second-guess your heart. But now, one day at a time, you are waking up to clarity. You are remembering who you are. You are remembering what peace feels like. And more importantly, you are remembering what it feels like to hear God's voice without interruption. There is a quiet strength building in you now, a spiritual muscle that was weak before, because the constant presence of that person kept you unsure. They may have said the right words, worn the right expressions, played the part of support. But God saw through all of it. God saw how your light dimmed slowly, how your confidence slipped silently, how you started to shrink just to keep the peace. And He could not allow it to continue. He stepped in. He spoke through signs. He stirred your spirit. And finally, when you were ready, He delivered the message with force, clear and undeniable. That warning, though painful, was one of the greatest acts of love you will ever receive. Because God saw what you couldn't, and He loved you too much to leave you blind. This is a time of deep recalibration. Your heart is relearning how to trust without fear. Your mind is learning to rest without overthinking. And your spirit is growing bold in the truth. What once paralyzed you with doubt is now breaking off. The lies that were whispered over you in subtle tones, the emotional control you tolerated to avoid conflict, the tension that lived under every smile, they no longer have access to you. That is what freedom feels like. And sometimes, freedom is not loud. Sometimes it's just breathing without anxiety. Smiling without pretending. Resting without the weight of someone else's expectations pressing into your soul. You are allowed to enjoy that. You are allowed to embrace it. It is not selfish, it is holy. You are not behind. You are not losing. You are in transition. And heaven has its hand all over this moment. The pain you feel now will not last forever. The grief will not remain. But for now, let it teach you. Let it soften your heart, not harden it. Let it make you wiser, not colder. Let it guide you closer to God, not further from His love. Healing is a process, and heaven is patient with you. There will be days you miss what you walked away from. That is human. There will be moments where the loneliness feels louder than the promise. That is part of the journey. But don't ever confuse those feelings with regret. You didn't make a mistake. You made a move toward light. And every day you continue forward, heaven celebrates. God is not rushing you. He's refining you. And in this slow refining, He is replacing the false with the true. He is replacing the confusion with clarity. He is replacing shallow connection with divine alignment. You are learning what real love looks like, God's love. A love that doesn't take from you until you're empty. A love that pours into you until you overflow. Let this be the season you fall in love with the presence of God again. The way He speaks to your soul when everyone else is quiet. The way He confirms what your spirit already knew. The way He wraps you in peace when no one else knows what you're facing. That is the love that never fails. That is the love you were created for. There will come a time very soon when you look back on this moment and realize just how much God protected you from. There will be clarity about things you still wonder about now. There will be closure in ways you never imagined. And there will be joy, real joy, not the kind you have to pretend to feel. The kind that radiates from the soul. The kind that stays. If you're feeling the slow return of peace, even through the pain, and your spirit agrees with this word, comment 999 to seal your healing with faith.